Edmonton International Airport, gateway to Canada's frozen north. Winter temperatures here can reach -50 degrees Celsius. Keeping this vital and busy facility operational requires an arsenal of specialized machines and a dedicated team to use them. So, how do they do it? 8 a.m., Edmonton International Airport. A typical freezing winter's morning. After a heavy blizzard, this runway could be covered in 10,000 tons of snow. And every minute planes can't take off and land costs thousands of dollars. Only one thing stands in the way of total shutdown. The snow fighters of the airside operations team. The most deadly threat they face is completely invisible to the naked eye. A hidden covering of ice on the runway can be fatal to a plane coming into land. To check that the runway surface isn't too slippery for happy landings, the airport has 2 dedicated friction testing vehicles. And friction tester Unger does the skidding for a living. Tough job, but someone's got to do it. When he slams on the brakes, a decelerometer inside the vehicle records how fast it slows down. This information could be the difference between life and death for pilots and passengers.
It has to be very accurate so that the planes know what kind of conditions they're going to be landing on when they come in.
In bad weather, these specially modified SUVs will perform a series of 20 controlled skids every hour. The results from the skids are averaged to produce a reading for the whole runway. If it drops below 0.3, it means conditions are critical, and urgent action needs to be taken to raise the level of friction. For the times when a broom and shovel just won't do, the operations team has a fleet of heavy-duty, snow-busting vehicles. These 350 horsepower snowplow trucks are equipped with 4-wheel drive and 7-meter-wide plows to carve a path through the heaviest drifts. From the cab, the operator uses a joystick to control the depth, speed and angle of towed brooms that sweep away loose snow left behind. From the moment they're called in, the team have just 1 hour to completely clear the 3,500-meter runway. Crysta Unger is the truck-driving woman who leads the heavy crew.
The coolest part about the job would have to be running these trucks. I find it almost a bit of a rush to come out and get everything cleaned up in a snowstorm. It's a bit of a panicky moment to try and have everything cleaned up. And so I don't know, I enjoy that little bit of rush.
But the problem is, all that snow just gets shoved to one side. For safe flying, that snow has to be gone. To shift the snow a safe distance away, they have to call in the Snowblowers. These mighty machines have 2 engines, one at the rear for propulsion, and a massive 540 horsepower plant at the front to provide the punch for the blower itself. This colossal combination of vacuum and hairdryer can suck up 125 tons of snow per minute and throw it 50 meters, leaving the runway smooth and clear. For planes to land safely, it's not enough just to have a clear stretch of tarmac. Pilots have to be able to see the lights that run along each side of the runway. The trouble with ordinary snowplows is they would just push right through the lights and shatter them. Edmonton International Airport solution is a specialist vehicle, the Vplow, to clear the snow away from these sensitive areas. It looks like an ordinary snowplow, but the operator can open the 2 blades, creating a small gap. This gap is the perfect size and shape to allow the light to pass through unscathed, as long as the driver can keep going in a straight line. But even when the snow's gone, a thin coating of ice could still make the runway slippery and deadly. The answer is these 22-ton de-icing trucks, which spread granules of sodium formate, a special salt of formic acid. This breaks up the ice by sucking the water out of it. You take the water out of ice, and there's not a lot left. In clear conditions, these vehicles cover the runway in another chemical, potassium acetate. This stops ice forming, even at minus 30 degrees. Extreme weather poses a threat to planes as well as runways. When ice builds up on a plane's wings or tail, it can freeze the flaps, making steering or taking off impossible. So Edmonton has another squad of specialist vehicles to remove it, that look like they should be working for the fire department. But instead of water coming out of these high-power hoses, the ice department's trucks shoot an orange-coloured glycol solution, which works just like your car's antifreeze. The mixture is heated to 60 degrees Celsius and sprayed on by the de-icing vehicles. Snow or shine, from November to April, the de-icing teams have to be on hand 24 hours a day. They're so successful, the airport has only been shut down for a few hours in the last decade. Until Canada runs out of winter snow, these guys are gonna stay busy.